There is a hole in Siberia so massive it creates its own weather. Clouds form inside it while the ground around the edges slowly collapses. Another pit in Turkmenistan has been burning non-stop for over 50 years. Locals call it the gateway to hell, and scientists cannot put it out. These are real holes that exist on our planet right now. By the time we reach number 1, you will see a pit so deep that dropping a rock takes 10 seconds before you hear it hit bottom. Earth is full of holes that should not exist. Some appeared overnight, swallowing cars and buildings without warning. Others were dug by humans chasing resources into the darkness below. Many remain unexplored because the conditions inside are too dangerous. Here are 10 of the strangest holes on Earth. 10. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. Off the coast of Belize, a perfect dark circle interrupts the turquoise Caribbean. The Great Blue Hole drops 124 meters straight down into the ocean floor. Divers descend past ancient stalactites formed when this was a dry cave. At certain depths, the water becomes oxygen depleted and lifeless. From above, it looks like Earth opened an eye in the middle of the sea. Measures approximately 300 meters across, formed during ice ages when sea levels were lower, contains stalactites from its time as a cave system. UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1996, popular destination for advanced scuba divers. 9. The Darvaza gas crater, Turkmenistan. In the remote desert of Turkmenistan, a pit of fire burns day and night. The Darvaza crater has been on fire since Soviet engineers ignited it in 1971. They thought burning off the gas would take a few weeks. Over 50 years later, the flames still roar from the 70-meter-wide pit. At night, the orange glow can be seen from kilometers away. Nicknamed the door to hell by locals, created when a drilling rig collapsed into a cavern intentionally set on fire to burn off methane. Turkmenistan has considered extinguishing it multiple times. 8. The Berkeley Pit, United States. In Montana, a former copper mine has become one of the most toxic lakes on Earth. The Berkeley Pit is filled with heavily acidic water containing dangerous heavy metals. In 1995, a flock of migrating geese landed on the water. Over 300 birds died within days from the poisonous conditions. The pit continues to fill with contaminated groundwater every day. Located in Butte, Montana, water pH level is around 2.5, similar to battery acid, contains copper, arsenic, and other toxic metals, monitored constantly to prevent overflow into local water. 7. The Kola Superdeep Borehole, Russia. In the frozen wilderness of Russia, a metal cap covers the deepest hole ever drilled. The Kola Superdeep Borehole reaches 12.2 kilometers into Earth's crust. Scientists drilled for 20 years trying to go even deeper. At the bottom, temperatures exceeded 180 degrees Celsius. The rock became so hot it behaved like plastic, making further drilling impossible. Drilling began in 1970 during the Soviet era, reached 12,262 meters, still the deepest ever drilled. Discovered water and unexpected rock formation. Temperatures made continued drilling impossible. Site is now abandoned and sealed. 6. The Mirny Diamond Mine, Russia. In Siberia, an enormous spiral pit dominates the frozen landscape. The Mirny mine is so large that helicopters are banned from flying over it. The air currents above the 525-meter deep pit can pull aircraft downward. Trucks driving down the spiral road look like ants from the surface. It remains one of the largest excavated holes on Earth. One of the largest man-made holes ever created, produced over 10 million carats of diamonds. Dangerous air currents have caused helicopter incidents. Open pit mining ended, but underground operations continue. The holes ahead go even deeper and stranger, from mysterious sinkholes to pits that scientists still cannot fully explain.
5. The Shaojai Tiangong, China. In rural China, the ground suddenly drops into a hole so large it contains its own ecosystem. The Shaojai Tiangong is the deepest sinkhole on Earth. Cliffs fall over 660 meters straight down from the rim. At the bottom, a river flows through forests that rarely see direct sunlight. Explorers descend on ropes to study plants found nowhere else. Located in Chongqing Municipality, China, measures over 660 meters deep, contains its own unique plant and animal species formed by underground river erosion over millennia, one of the world's largest natural sinkholes. 4. The Batagayka Crater, Russia. Siberia, a massive gash in the Earth grows larger every year. The Batagayka Crater is a megaslump caused by melting permafrost. As the frozen ground thaws, the walls collapse further. Ancient animal remains including woolly mammoths have emerged from the soil. The crater is now over 1 kilometer long and 100 meters deep. Located in the Sakha Republic of Russia, began forming in the 1960s after deforestation, grows by 10 to 30 meters each year, contains preserved Ice Age animal remains, nicknamed the doorway to the underworld by locals. 3. The Guatemala City sinkhole. In 2010, residents of Guatemala City heard a terrible roar. A 3-story building vanished as the ground collapsed into a perfect cylinder. The sinkhole dropped 60 meters straight down into darkness. Pipes, roads, and structures simply disappeared in seconds. Engineers believe underground water flow dissolved the volcanic rock below. Opened suddenly in May 2010, approximately 20 meters wide and 60 meters deep, swallowed a 3-story factory building. Heavy rains and leaky pipes contributed to the collapse. A similar sinkhole opened in the same city in 2007. 2. The Dean's Blue Hole, Bahamas. In the Bahamas, the deepest known underwater sinkhole on Earth drops into blackness. Dean's Blue Hole plunges 202 meters straight down. Freedivers from around the world come to test their limits here. The first 20 meters are a wide bowl, then walls narrow into a vertical shaft. At the bottom, complete darkness and crushing pressure await. Located on Long Island in the Bahamas, deepest known blue hole in the world, popular for freediving record attempts. Water transitions from warm to cold at depth. Several world records have been set here. 1. The Mel's Hole, Washington State. According to legend, a man named Mel Waters discovered a bottomless pit on his property. He claimed to have lowered fishing line for miles without hitting bottom. Dead animals thrown in allegedly returned to life. Radio broadcasts in the 1990s spread the story worldwide. Scientists have never verified the hole exists, yet people still search for it today. Story originated from radio broadcasts in 1997. Location has never been officially confirmed. Claims include supernatural phenomena. Became one of the most famous unexplained hole legends. Investigators have found no evidence of its existence. You have just explored 10 of the strangest holes on Earth. From burning craters and toxic pits to sinkholes that swallow buildings whole. We descended into diamond mines, frozen boreholes, and underwater shafts deeper than skyscrapers are tall. At the top of the list, Mel's Hole remains the ultimate mystery, a legendary pit that may or may not exist somewhere in the wilderness, waiting to be found or debunked forever. Which hole amazed or terrified you the most? Would you dive into Dean's Blue Hole or explore the bottom of a megaslump? Do you believe Mel's Hole is real or just an elaborate story? What other strange holes have you heard about? If this descent into Earth's strangest pits fascinated you, tap like and subscribe for more. Soon, we will explore the most incredible caves ever discovered, from crystal palaces to underground rivers larger than cities.